Om Namo Narayana, Jai Swami Narayan. Today we are absolutely going to finish chapter 18. I said we would in the last one, but I got detoured on my own thoughts. But today we will, and it is called The Prayers Offered to the Lord by Residents of Jambudvipa. And we pick up with verse 29, Sukadevi continuing his narration. In Hiranmaya Varsha, the Supreme Lord Vishnu lives in the form of a tortoise. This most dear and beautiful form is always worshipped there in devotional service by Aryama, the chief resident of Hiranmaya Varsha, along with the other inhabitants of that land. They chant the following hymns. O my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who have assumed the form of a tortoise. You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities, and being entirely untinged by matter, you are perfectly situated in pure goodness. You move here and there in the water, but no one can discern your position. Therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Because of your transcendental position, you are not limited by past, present, and future. You are always present everywhere as the shelter of all things, and therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. My dear Lord, this visible cosmic manifestation is a demonstration of your creative energy. Since the countless varieties of forms within this cosmic manifestation are simply a display of your external energy, this universal body, this Virat-rupa, is not your real form. Except for a devotee in transcendental consciousness, no one can perceive your actual form. Therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. My dear Lord, you manifest your different energies in countless forms, as living entities born from wombs, from eggs, and from perspiration, as plants and trees that grow out of the earth, as all living entities, both moving and standing, including the demigods, the learned sages, and the Pitas, as outer space, as the higher planetary systems containing the heavenly planets, and as the planet Earth, with its hills, rivers, seas, oceans, and islands. Indeed, all the stars and planets are simply manifestations of your different energies. But originally, you are one without a second. Therefore, there is nothing beyond you. This entire cosmic manifestation is therefore not false, but is simply a temporary manifestation of your inconceivable energy. O my Lord, your name, form, and bodily features are expanded in countless forms. No one can determine exactly how many forms exist, yet you yourself, in your incarnation as the learned scholar Vyasadeva, have analyzed the cosmic manifestation as containing 24 elements. Therefore, if one is interested in hearing Sankhya philosophy, by which one can enumerate the different truths, he must hear it from you. Unfortunately, non-devotees simply count the different elements and remain ignorant of your actual form. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Sukadevi Goswami then said, My dear king, the Supreme Lord in his boar incarnation, who accepts all sacrificial offerings, lives in the northern part of Jambudvipa. There, in the tract of land known as Uttarakura Varsha, Mother Earth and all the other inhabitants worship him with unfailing devotional service by repeatedly chanting the following Upashanic mantra. O Lord, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you as the gigantic boar. Simply by chanting mantras, we shall be able to understand you fully. You are the yajna. You are the ritual. Therefore, all the ritualistic ceremonies of sacrifice are part of your transcendental body, and you are the only enjoyer of all sacrifices. Your form is composed of transcendental goodness. You are known as Trayuga, because in the Kali Yuga you appeared as a concealed incarnation, and because you always fully possess the 3 pairs of opulences. By maintaining a fire-generating stick, great saints and sages can bring forth the fire lying dormant within wood. In the same way, O Lord, those expert in understanding the absolute truth try to see you in everything, even in their own bodies, yet you remain concealed. You are not to be understood by indirect processes involving mental or physical activities, because you are self-manifested only when you see that a person is wholeheartedly engaged in searching for you do you reveal yourself. Therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. The objects of material enjoyment, sound, form, taste, touch, and smell, the activities of the senses, the controllers of the sensory activities, the demigods, the body, eternal time, and egotism are all the creation of your material energy. Those whose intelligence has become fixed by the perfect execution of mystic yoga can see that all these elements result from the actions of your external energy. They can also see your transcendental form as supersoul in the background of everything. Therefore, I repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto you. O Lord, you do not desire the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material world, but you perform these activities for the conditioned souls by your creative energy, exactly as a piece of iron moves under the influence of a lodestone. Inert matter moves when you glance over the total material energy. My Lord, as the original boar within this universe, you fought and killed the great demon Hiranyaksha. Then you lifted up the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean on the end of your tusk, exactly as a sporting elephant plucks a lotus flower from the water. I bow down before you. And thus ends chapter 18. Some of you may have dated online. I think at this point in time, most of us have ventured into online dating. I think that's the norm now for many of us in the Western world. And there's sort of a little thing where you see a profile of someone and you like what they say, and maybe you write them an email or whatever. But the idea is that you will meet that person at some point in the near future, not just because you're looking for a relationship or you're looking for something that you can't get through just typing on an email, but you have to find out if the person behind that profile is who they say they are. Because our profiles, when we put them up, are manipulated to show certain sides of our personality, show certain things that are attractive. We don't put up our bad traits. Dear girls, I'm a slob who farts in bed. We're not going to put that. We need to put things that are good. I am a gourmet chef who has been trained in France. But we know that when dating, if we want to truly know the person, we have to get past that. We have to say, hey, do you want to go on a date? Would you like to meet face to face? Would you like to Zoom if we're in a far away, distance, or talk on the phone? That is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, it's just like talking to an AI. And I thought of that while reading this here. The line, you are not to be understood by indirect processes involving mental or physical activities. It's sort of like trying to date someone without ever having that first date. And just by reading their profile, you're trying to know this person. You can't. You absolutely can't. I speak from experience. And I speak from experience of going out on one date with a girl and we got along awesome online. And then it just totally failed in person. It literally just fell apart instantly. You have to get beyond. You have to reach out and know someone deeper. And that just so came to mind when I was seeing this. Yet, there are a lot of people who will agree with me. Oh yes, you meet someone online. You have to reach out, you have to have a date, and then whatever. And if it doesn't work, you go on to the next profile. But you have to get beyond the profile. But yet, I bet they can tell you all about God because they've read a book, but they don't know God. Or they want a whole bunch of information. They want all the answers. Let's say they want to know all about the Srimad Bhagavatam, but they don't actually want to read the Bhagavatam. They just want you to tell them all about it. Please explain to me what this means, but I don't really care what it says. That's pretty much the same thing as meeting that profile, but you want the profile, but you don't want the person behind it. And there are a lot of people whose spirituality is exactly that. Just the words, just give me the information, just give me the Wikipedia, but I don't need to go the next step. And I would ask, why? Why don't you? Do you not like what you're seeing? On the other hand, are you afraid? Are you afraid of what it might mean? Are you comfortable in where you are? And you don't want to shake it up? That's what I think when someone says to me, oh yes, I'm on dating profiles, and I literally had someone say this to me, and I've been communicating with someone in town for like 4 months. They like my profile. I don't know if I'll ever bother to go out with them. Yet you talk about scrolling through and wanting dates and you can't find anybody, but you have someone who's hanging out with you for a while. Actually, after 4 months, the person's probably not so good, because why would they hang out with you for 4 months if you're not going to meet and you're only a few miles apart? But I think the problem was this person was afraid. They were afraid of what was going to happen. They were afraid of change. They were afraid of being not comfortable. But they gain nothing. Nothing by doing that. And that's the same thing here. If you don't connect with the Lord directly, you'll gain nothing. Just by reading is one thing, but by knowing takes it the next step further. So, that seems like a good place to end this. And, yeah, kind of a interesting comparison, but I'm reading these and I never know what thoughts are going to come into my mind when I'm going through this. Thank you for hanging out with me and hearing my talking on dating. I don't think I've talked about dating much on this channel, so that might be a first. And until next time, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Swami Narayan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.